There you go. And I just wanted to say welcome to everybody. My name is Robin Rodricks, and I'm Executive Director of the relatively new, since the very end of May, San Mateo County Office of Arts and Culture, which is under the County Manager's Office. For those of you geeky nerdies that like to know how government functions, the Office of Arts and Culture sits in the County Manager's Office, who is County Manager Mike Callaghy, who is a really big art supporter. We are very appreciative of his support in launching the Office of Arts and Culture, under which the Arts Commission is now housed. We are working on the executing the strategic plan. You may
I've got a workshop right now. I can talk with you at 3.
You may recall that we developed, some of you participated in that development of the needs assessment for a major, hefty, meaty strategic arts and culture plan for the county. Took us 9 months. It was like giving a birth to a baby. We got it all done, brought it to the Board of Supervisors for their approval on February 26, 2020. And guess what happened 3 weeks later? Yeah, we went into shelter in place. And so it kind of put a kibosh on the really seriously launching the work of that strategic plan, the goals and initiatives. But as we came out of the pandemic, Mr. Callaghy and I talked, I said that I felt the best approach was you need a base of operation, an office that would execute and administer the strategic plan. And so, as I say, we're working with the Arts Commission. As you know, the Arts Commission does a spring grant cycle every year since 2013. And so here we are at the spring grant cycle for 2021 in the fall, happening in the fall. And I'm so happy that Mara's going to tell you about our Streamlined Grants program. I do want to give one before I turn it out over to Mara. I put in the chat a link to a racial justice and equity summit that is being produced by Thrive Alliance, who I know many of you know, as well as Silicon Valley Council of Nonprofits. They are sort of the Thrive Alliance in Santa Clara County, Silicon Valley Council of Nonprofits, and they are hosting a racial justice summit, October 3, 4, and 5, I think it is. The link is in the chat, and the Arts Commission is sponsoring the a panel that they are having on arts for racial justice and equity, and that is a panel in the summit. So definitely check out the link. You can also go to the Thrive website for further details. And I think that's all I have to say, Mara, and I will let you take it away.
Okay, the link, a couple people have mentioned, the link is at the very top. We'll put it in again, and we'll also include it when we send our, we'll send a thank you to coming for this and links for the grant application. So don't worry, we're gonna let you know all about it. And
it's a free, can I just add, Mara, by the way, that's a free summit, which I think is wonderful. So I really encourage you all to attend. Okay.
All right. Hold on one second. I'm working on this screen share thing that happens. There we go. Can you see the screen? No, now I lost everything.
You want me to do it, Mar, or you got it?
I don't know. You may have to do it, Robin, because now I lost me and this crazy computer lost everything.
Okay, let me, I'm going to pull up Mara's PowerPoint. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, everybody but me.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Okay, there we go. Wow. I have a new computer. I'm a Mac girl, and they, when I started this job a couple months ago, they said, "Here's your PC. Good luck with that." So here we go. So thank you all for coming. We're really excited to have you here. This is exciting for me because I've always been on the other side of this proposition. I've been, like you, the grant writer, not the grant giver. So it's exciting to start out this way. I'm the admin manager for the new Department of Arts and Culture, and excited to be here to present this. So we wish to acknowledge the land that our county sits on, the land of the Ramatash Ohlone people, and affirm their sovereign rights as the first peoples. I just wanted to put that out there. All right, Robin, next one.
Next one.
So in going into this, as I said, I have a extensive background in grant writing and nonprofit world, and I thought a lot about what do nonprofits need? What are they looking for, especially in these really difficult times with COVID and just all that all of us sort of had to deal with. And for me, as a nonprofit and grant writer, of course, having general operating funds has always been the most meaningful. And in researching a little bit, I found this trust-based philanthropy, which really sort of changes the position of the grantor and the grantee and makes us more equal and working on a common cause together. And so that's the approach that I wanted the commission to take is to be partners. We have a common, our missions are in alignment, and we want to work together to promote the arts for all in San Mateo County. Robin?
Next, you ready?
Next.
Oh,
Sorry.
There you go.
So partners means we're both going to do this together. You are the people on the ground, you've already laid the work, and we want to support that. And that's sort of our mission. We want to celebrate the arts. We know that we are the second responders, especially in this pandemic. And we want to go forth and really make sure that everybody has the access that they need to the arts. Next. So in order to do this, we thought a little bit about, and I did a lot of research on how to build that relationship between grantees, the Office of Arts and Culture, and the Arts Commission. And we came up with 4 basic pillars. And the first one being that we want to embrace the DEI pedagogy. And we don't want to just embrace it in words. We also want to embrace it in action. And that's where our partners come into play here. We could talk about it all we want, but unless we're actually doing the work in a meaningful way, it doesn't make sense for us. So I want us to embrace it and go forth together. And then in order to do that, it requires that we be honest, we be open, we be transparent with each other. And just the basic respect that we want to have with dealing with partners. In doing that, I designed a streamlined application, what I consider a streamlined application. I tried to really be concise. What information do we really need to know about you as an organization and the work that you do? And we tried to make it as easy as you can with Common Grant app, as easy and as accessible and user-friendly as we could. And we tried to keep the questions to a minimum. We tried to keep them the answers short. I don't want pages and pages. And so that's what we tried to design. And I think we've done a pretty decent job of it. And then the last part of it is we're going to engage peer readers. And they're going to be able to use some of the new rubrics that go along with reviewing the applications. Next, please. All right, here's the big question of the day, eligibility. We've gotten a lot of questions about this. And we are the Arts Commission. So yes, you have to be an arts or cultural organization, and we are San Mateo County. So yes, you need to be in San Mateo County doing the majority of your work. That doesn't mean that you can't also be doing work in North Carolina, but the bulk of what you do needs to be here in San Mateo County. We want to keep the money here. You must be either a 501c3 or fiscally sponsored, and of course, in good standing with IRS. We lowered the amount of years you had to be in operation because we know some newer organizations, younger organizations have emerged during COVID, and we want to include them too. So we lowered it. We do want you to have a year behind your belt before we give money, because we are taxpayers. You know, we're using taxpayers' money, and we have a certain responsibility to that. And then we wanted to keep it small to organizations that might not have as many opportunities and have a budget under $1 million. I know some of you are here in past, you've had budgets way over $1 million. COVID did a number on a lot of us. And so it needs to be a budget under $1 million. And then this is really, because I tried to streamline, but then we made it complicated. There's also another little project going on, and that's for a group that was went through a project, the Arts and Civil Rights group. We have a separate grant process for them if they choose. You may choose either or, not both, either or. And we've talked to all of you that are in this group. So no need to worry. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. But the bulk of you, unless you participated in this program, you're going for general support dollars. Next, please. So like I said, there's two opportunities, the general support. And when we say general support, we are trusting you as an organization to know where you need to use the funds. And that could go for anything from salaries, projects, light bulbs, overhead, whatever you need, salaries. We know this has been a tough couple of years and you're hurting. So we trust you to use the dollars in the way that you need them most. And then, of course, the Arts and Civil Rights Cohort Grants, that's a whole separate thing, and that's just for that group. All right, Robin.
Oh.
Next.
Hold on one sec, sorry. There we go.
Wait, go back.
That what? Oh, back?
Yeah, back.
Sorry. Is that good?
Nope, back. Back. Yes, criteria. So these are the kinds of things, and I'm not going to read them because I hate when people read PowerPoints to me, but these are the kinds of things that when we look to what kind of partners we hope to have, these are the kinds of criteria of the things that we're looking for in our partners. And I think they're all pretty clear and basic, but if anybody has any questions about them, I'm happy to go over it. We want you to be working in the arts and culture spaces and have effective programs that serve in San Mateo County. That's the bottom line. And all the rest are basic standards for an organization that's successful and sustainable. Next, Robin. We're gonna, yes, we can provide a copy of the PowerPoint, and also we're recording this, so we'll have the recording available. But I think when you get to the grant application, I've really just taken what's up there, and in here. So yes, we will have that for you, Valerie. You're going the wrong way, Robin.
Hold on, because I'm answering questions in the chat. Okay, you want me to back up?
No, go forward.
Go forward. Okay.
Keep going. Keep going. One more. There you go. Woo! All right. The application itself. The first part is all the basic contact and organizational information that if you've ever written a grant, you'll know. If you haven't written a grant, it's name, address, EIN number, those kinds of questions, website, all the basic questions that you will have the answers to. The next question really leads right into who are you? Tell us a little bit about your history, your mission, your vision. Tell us who you are. And I've limited it to 1,000 characters. I don't want you to go on and tell us. And then in 1987, we, give us the highlights so that you're really just saying this is who we are and this is why we're important. This is the work we do. The second question is more the work you do. What are your programs? Who do you provide it to? What's your impact? All of those questions that say, this is why we're important. This is why we're playing. This is what we do in San Mateo County. This is why we should be your partner in helping promote the arts to all in San Mateo County. And then the next question is, if you've received a grant in the past, just tell us how the funds were used in 2020. Those were the COVID grants. Just give us a little shout out, like how did you use the funds? If you didn't receive the money, skip on. One of the things I should tell you too is in designing this grant application, we will have an eligibility quiz at the very beginning. And if you don't answer yes to all those questions, it won't let you go. Okay, so you have to have all those things that we talked about before. And also once you are eligible and you get into this part of the application, it's going to make you answer all the questions. And it's also going to make you upload the docs that we'll talk about in a minute. And it won't let you submit until you've done all that. So it will remind you if you haven't answered a question fully, or if you haven't added all the docs that I'm going to ask you for, it won't let you go on until that happens. So just so you know, it makes it easier for you. It makes it easier for us reviewing them as well. The next question is, wait, I think there's a question about, you skipped the slide, Robin.
Did I move? I think I accidentally rolled.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, so really sort of get to the point kind of questions. What are the 3 most urgent organizational needs or concerns you have, and how can we help you with that? And that is going to be up to the individual organization. We all have different needs. We get that. And we want to know what those are. How can we help? What is most meaningful to you? That's if you're applying for general support. There is a separate question if you're going to apply for the arts and civil rights. We're going to ask you about the project that you've been developing over the last 6 months or 9 months or however long it's been, and how are you creating change, and how will this grant help you? So that's a whole separate, just for that one little group, that's going to apply for that grant. So if you're applying for general ops, general support, you just have that first question: what are your needs? And then we also want you to tell us who you serve. Give us the demographics. Tell us where you are. If you're in Belmont, tell us that you're in Belmont, but that you're open to everybody. Keep the DEI pedagogy in mind. How are you providing services to all? If you are, if you're not, who are you focused on and why? Okay, next. And then the next question is about collaboration and partnerships. Do you partner? Do you collaborate? If not, why? there are over 3,000 nonprofit organizations in the Bay Area, 3,000. And a lot of us are, fighting over the same dollars, right? Not fighting, but applying for the same dollars. And so is there a way that you could partner with people and look at people that are in your same space and do something together rather than needing separate dollars? It makes it more sustainable for the organization and also for the community. So tell us about collaborations and partnerships. And then we wanted to know about, we've all been through a lot during COVID, and you won't see a COVID question on here. We already have a good idea that revenue is down, funding was hard, you had to pivot and become virtual, you couldn't hold your performances or presentations, you couldn't go into the schools, whatever it is, we know all that. But what have you done to sort of look at things in a new way so that you can say, this is what we're going to need for sustainability for our organization in this new world that we're going to go forth in. It doesn't appear COVID's leaving us anytime soon. So what are you doing to be sure that you are going to be sustainable? And that goes to, really kind of the big question. And I know a lot of nonprofits are grappling with this and have for a while, but this COVID really put this on the line. So we want you to tell us about that. The next question is, again, about DEI and inclusion. It's one thing to serve people, underserved people, but it's another thing that your board, your staff, your volunteers all reflect that. And so we want to know how you reflect that within your organization. And it doesn't have to be just BIPOC. I mean, let's think about all the different areas where, abilities, sexual orientation, all of the above needs to play into how you promote inclusion in your organization. And then the last question is just your top 3 sources of funding. We're just curious. It's not going to count whether or not you get this grant or not. We're just like, where is the funding coming from right now in the arts? And so just tell us who and how much, and we'll be on our way.
Yeah, can I just add, Mara, oh, did I click too fast? I'm sorry, hold on. I was just going to add, Mara, that okay, here we're back. I added this, I had Mara add this. This is more for informational purposes for us. If you have 10 major funders, 1 major funder, we just kind of like to understand, I want to understand where organizations in the county are receiving some of their funding. So that's a question that there's no right or wrong for. You won't get dinged or not dinged for that, any answer there.
Not only not dinged, but we want it has no determination on
no
whether we'll fund it or
determination.
not.
Exactly, no determination. That's the better way to say it. No determination. Right. So I should move on, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Those are the questions. We were keeping it simple. I hope you think that we're keeping it simple as well. And I do want to hear from you if you think that you're like, hey, you said streamline and you asked 9 questions. What the heck? At any rate, those are the questions that we think that we need to know the answers to in order to look at the organization and make some good judgments on which are the best partners for us now. There's 50 people on this call, or 50 people registered, not 50 people on the call, but I know there's a lot of need, and Robin can talk to the amount of grants that we will be able to offer, and also the amount of money the amount of money that we are going to provide. They're all going to be equal. We're committed to this equity issue, and we think that everybody should get the same amount of money, and so we're committed to that. traditionally, I think you said, Robin, 15 to 20 grants in the grant cycle. So,
It's usually 18 to 23-ish, 24-ish.
okay. So we'll see where we go.
It's a competitive process, that's for sure.
So the forms that we want you to upload are very basic. We need a W-9. That is in case you are awarded the grant. We have that already, and we'll be able to pay you quickly as the county moves, which is not very quickly. We need financial statements just for the last fiscal year. We would like your current organizational budget showing that you are under $1 million. And then another issue came up, and we kind of kicked it around.
Sorry.
Okay. And this is where Robin's going to do the poll about equity, social, racial justice, or non-discrimination policy. We want to do a little poll right now, and we want to know how many of you have these.
Okay, so you
Where's
want
the
me to,
poll?
so
M Grimes, it is mcgov.org. Okay.
okay, so oops, I went, there we go. You know what, Mara?
It doesn't show the poll at the bottom.
Yeah, wait, pause, annotate, remote control apps more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop screen sharing. It looks like, Mara, if you wanna do the poll right now. Oh, there it is. Hold on, poll. And I'm gonna, there we go. There you go.
All right, look at us. Do you have an equity, social justice, or non-discrimination policy or statement? Either or, yes or no?
How about if I'm not sure?
Then just don't reply.
All right.
Looks like 74% have participated. 62% of you have yes, and 38% checked no.
Okay, so based on that, we're going to go to question number 2.
436. Okay. And so question, and I'm going to end the poll. Oh, wait, we're still
to the
getting a
second
few
question.
more. Hold on, Mara. We're getting a few more.
Oh, sorry.
People are still going in. That's great. Keep checking yes or no.
That's a good point. We should have said don't know or not yet. And it's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
This is informational. Again, this is not to say it affects the grant. We want to know because
Correct.
the second question will feed right into this.
Okay, so looks like we're at 88%. And I'll give a few more minutes, everybody, and then I'm gonna
I think we should go on to the next one, I think.
you want to go on to the next one? Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll with 88% having responded.
And how many have?
And we have 35% no, 65% yes. All right, and so I'm gonna end that poll, and we're gonna go on to the next poll. Do I want to share? Do I want? Okay, I could share
There it
results.
goes.
There you go.
Oh,
So
okay.
now you can all see.
Okay.
So, okay, so then now let's go on to question number 2.
This is the first time Robin and I have done this, so.
Yeah, I've
bear
never
with
done a
us.
poll before. Polls, statement of policy. Wait, hold on, Mara. I'm sorry.
Workshop. You're gonna do the poll. that says
Yeah, but I
workshop.
can't find the workshop one. Where stop? Why can't I have?
I can't help you because it didn't make me a co-host.
Well, I think you're co-host. So, but the problem is, when the problem is when I click polls, it's poll ended. But we had that other question.
All right.
So
The
why don't
other
you go on?
question. to move on and not waste time, the other question is, and maybe we'll survey you in our follow-up responses. Would you be interested, willing to come to a workshop if we were to provide one, working with a group called ZBridge that works on social racial justice, and possibly the officer of equity for the county. So just to help you write a policy, to understand a policy, to help you write a statement. So we are thinking that we would like to host something like that in the future. So that'll be a different question. But when you do apply for the grant, we're asking you if you have one, and if you do, if you'd upload it. Does not affect your grant at all. Mostly informational. And then if you are applying for the Arts and Civil Rights Grant, then you do need a project budget as well. Only if you're applying for that grant. The other ones, you have these three, four basic uploads. Okay, Robin, next. So the last part of this is we are putting together a peer review panel that will read through all the grants. We're reaching out to some new peer partners that we haven't used before, and really trying to be diverse and deliberate in our choices. We're also working with somebody that's going to help us develop rubrics that reflect the trust-based pedagogy, and that will inform the review and the ranking of the applications. Once all that's done, once everybody's reviewed and ranked, then we will take, depending on the money that we have, we'll look at everything, and then Robin and I, as the Office of Arts and Culture, will make recommendations to the arts commissioners who will review and award the grants accordingly. Next, Robin. So here's the timeline. I do love all this artwork that comes with PowerPoint, I gotta say, but this one's a little bit small. The application process will open September 29th, and we will be sending you links and information shortly. It's a relatively short process, a little over 2 weeks. So the applications are due at midnight on October 15th. That will give us time to have the panel review them the beginning of November. They will go to the Arts Commission at their November meeting, which is mid-November. And then we will make the awards right after Thanksgiving, probably. It does take the county a little bit of time to process, but we are pushing to have that check in your hand by the end of the year, is the plan.
Next.
Next, yeah. So I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to go to questions. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. And then I guess you could raise your hand or put in chat or however you want to do it. Barbara, I see your hand up there.
I'm sorry, I have lots of questions because, we've actually never gotten a grant except for more recently, through some of the COVID money that's been available for through the small venue operators grant and the PPP and that kind of thing. So we're very small. I have, 2 other part-time employees and myself. And so a lot of these things you mentioned, it's like, okay, I have a tiny board, I have I don't have a fundraiser person that knows how to fill out all these, these questions you have. And I just wonder what kind of, number one, what kind of support you have to help an organization that really has no experience, grant writing.
Robin, I'm hitting that over to you.
I'm sorry, I was answering in chat. What was
Oh.
the question?
So we tried to make the questions pretty basic to any organization.
Right.
Do we have resources ourselves to help you write the grant?
No.
No, there's an assumption that if you're gonna apply for this grant, you're gonna, I mean, there's a lot of resources online. I will tell you, there's books everywhere. There's, you know, grant writing 101. There's a ton of resources. We're not one of them. we're just
No.
not big enough to do that.
Okay,
No, it's
well,
not.
how much-
Hold on. It's not a matter of us not having resources. We can't tell you how to write a grant and then have the commission rank them. Now, I personally know some grant writers. I'm happy to share their contact info with you that you can hire. But that would be about all I can do.
And how much money is available and what are we, you know, so for me to hire a grant writer, I kind of need to know how much money is available. You said you were going to split it evenly. So what's the total amount that's available?
So what we're looking is grants in the range of 4,500 to maybe 6,000-ish. The number is somewhat in flux depending on the county budget that they give us, but that's what we have estimated that the grant awards will be.
Okay. Where is the application?
It
It's
will
on,
be online.
it's commongrantapplication.com.
Oh,
Those of you who have applied before, such as Tony and Cindy Abbott, you've already got an account in there. Those of you who are new, it's very easy to sign up. Mark can walk you through that or help you, point you to the website, commongrantapplication.com. All one
Yeah.
word, one
And
just.
we'll be
long-
sending out, we'll be sending out an email. We have all your contact information now from registering an event, right? So we'll be sending out an email and we'll be telling you, a couple times it's open. Don't forget to apply with the link. And I'm available for questions. If you get into Common Grant app and you get lost, I'm available for questions. So
And Common Grant is also very helpful if you have questions. We have two hands up. Erin Tormey, you want to go next?
Sure. Thanks. Hey, Barbara.
hi, Erin.
Reach out if you need me to point to somebody locally that can help you with that. This is a pretty straightforward process, and there's a few people out here on the coast that might be able to pop in there for a very, small amount of time to get that sorted for you. And I completely forgot what my actual question was. But when I remember, I'll stick my hand back up.
Yeah, stick your hand back up, Erin. And meantime, I'm going to move on to Victoria Magbalang. You got a question for me?
I do. I thank you so much for doing this. This is very interesting. I'm here on behalf of the nonprofit that I run that does fundraising for the Daly City Public Libraries. But aside from that, and within that realm, I totally think I understand, what we're eligible for. But besides that, I just do a lot in the community, and I've talked to a few other people who are seeking money for the arts, including like at Jefferson High School in Daly City, there's a Mission Fusion dance group. And I've talked to the advisor for that, and they don't get the funding from the school district budget that they need really. Would they be eligible for this? I mean, I know that they're funded through the school, so I wasn't sure.
Absolutely. They should apply. They should apply.
Okay, excellent. I will talk to them. And then another one, I know that the Daly City Arts and Culture Commission has really been trying to get some, excuse me, some more public art up, and they have some murals they want to get done, but they're having trouble finding funding. And I had already told them that I thought you might be a good person to talk to. So I just wasn't sure if they had to be like a nonprofit or like if these are sort of city organizations.
Daly City Arts Commission got a grant from us a couple of years ago and did a fabulous, which you might have been there, Victoria, did the fabulous, night of a, oh my gosh, it was called Night of a something. And they took over City Hall and everybody, all around, outside City Hall. And it was wonderful. They got that from a grant from the Arts Commission. So the city of South San Francisco is also looking to potentially they've got some projects in their mind that they're in developing that they may want to also apply for. So yeah, definitely the City of Daly City, and the dance performance that you were mentioning from the high school is great. And then Ellen Siebert, what can we answer for you? Is she there?
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Oh, good.
Because I'm new to this and this is my first time with the PMA doing something like this, what is the SMCAC Art Leaders Cohort?
So that was a group where one of our commissioners wanted to promote civil rights type projects. And so what we did was you applied to be a part of the cohort. We limited it to 10 organizations. And then as a member of that cohort, if you were selected, we ended up getting like 12 or 15 applications. We picked 10. You were required to attend 6 presentations. They were virtual because of COVID. Didn't start out as virtual, but it ended up virtual because of COVID. And if you participated and showed up for each of the 6, you could apply for the cohort grant.
But you said that's a requirement to apply for this grant?
Correct. For the cohort grant, you had to have been a member of the cohort, right? You were selected to be a member of the cohort, and then you actually showed up at all 6 virtually classes.
Okay, but for just the general grant, you don't need that?
For your general grant, no. General support grant, you don't need, it has nothing to do with the cohort, so.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Hey, Angela Doldow, you've had your hand up for a while. Sorry, go for it.
Hi, everyone. I think this is kind of related to Victoria's question, but so I'm from the city of South San Francisco. Hi, everybody. I'm just trying to verify our eligibility because we do have a lot of ideas and a very excited commission who's very interested in this. But so assuming we get the fiscal sponsorship through a 501c3, I just want to verify the budget eligibility requirement. You said it's $1 million maximum for the entire organization.
Right. So you and I can talk about that offline as well with Mara as well. The 3 of us can chat. But generally, for example, when we did the Daly City Arts Commission, I'll use that as an example. Their budget is minuscule. They are not. They get like $10,000, $20,000, and that's about it. So we do not consider that as part of the Daly City government budget. But you and I and Mara can talk about that offline. But you can also, as you say, apply with a fiscal sponsor, and then that's another way to do it.
Okay, thank you.
And
Bridget, did you you have a question similar? Did you
I just want to, it'd be great. Thank you, Mara. If I can just piggyback on that. So I'm in Belmont, the Parks and Rec Department, and we used to have an arts commission. We don't have a separate arts commission. It's now under our Parks and Rec operation to bring public art to Belmont, but we might exceed your budget limitations.
That, I believe, would be the case. Yes.
Okay.
Now that, and I have been meaning to get back to you too. I'm so sorry I haven't returned your emails. But I think that you and I need to have an offline conversation because I think there's potential for other collaborations that we can do together.
Okay.
Be outside the grants parameter, right? So
That sounds wonderful. Great. Thank you.
And then we got Sarah Sykes. You wanna tell us your question?
Sure. I was just wondering, is there a specific time period that these grants covered? Is it like the whole calendar year for 2022.
Oh, yeah, good for you. Yes, it's from January, somewhere I had that, I thought, from January 1st to December 31st, 2022.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And who else do we have here that has their hand up?
Erin, did you remember your question?
Yes, I did. Thank you. So I'm working with the city of Half Moon Bay and a public-private partnership doing this public art project that we only just got started in May, late May of 2021. So we don't have the project itself does not have a record yet. So I'm curious, if we are eligible.
Explain what,
You were asking for certain documentations about financial records from tax year 2020, that kind of thing. I mean, it's a new project. So some of the background information we are not going to have. Is that going to preclude us from applying?
so have you been in business longer than a year? Your organization, quote, been in business, but.
No, we actually went the whole thing and made ourselves be in business, but not until July of 2021. So we are in business for just a few months at this point.
Right, so that would be less than a year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but could you partner with somebody that's been around longer?
Yes.
I mean, that would be the way to go.
So
that partner would be the one that you should have apply for you, because if they've been around longer, because you've only been around 2 months.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But if the partner is the city of Half Moon Bay, then we end up in that budget situation.
Well, but if they're acting at, okay. I don't know, Mara, I'm confused now.
Let us, you know what, let's take this offline and talk.
Yeah, that one I think.
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna have to figure this out a little bit more clearly, and we'll reach out to all of you that are in the city areas, for sure, and let you know how to. This is where the collaboration and the fiscal sponsors and the partnerships could be really beneficial.
Right.
So let's get creative and think about ways that we could fund this.
Okay. Well, that'd be good, because that doesn't give you a heck of a lot of time to figure that out. Because if the partner that's got the traction is the city of Half Moon Bay, they obviously have a larger budget, but they're contributing just like in the handfuls of thousands to a pretty big project. So yeah, that would be good to know soon if the thing is gonna open up.
We will get back to you shortly this week. I know a lot of moving parts for sure. Okay. Nancy, did you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. As an individual artist, and my job is teaching art. So and I've done a lot of murals or whatever I've done in programming and things like that. So as an individual, I need to hook up with an organization. You guys don't fund individuals through the San Mateo Art Council.
The grants are for operational support or a project or program. Do you have a project or program?
I have a lot of project ideas, but I'm an individual. And so it seems like I would have to find an organization which is going to take money from the grant.
So you are an independent artist? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking for a grant for you to say, do sculpture or paintings, whatever.
Or provide classes for kids or whatever. I mean, my whole life has been art. So I've done pretty much almost everything. I've worked in New York and Chicago and wrote grants there. So now I'm trying to figure out how to work in my own community because I teach in San Francisco. So I'm trying to get involved more with my own community. And so do I need to then hook up with an organization?
Yes, you would have to get a fiscal sponsor, and then you would have to come up with a project or a program, say teaching arts to a classroom of kids. We've done that before, so that's a good example.
Sure.
Okay. That not for necessarily painting in your studio kind of thing.
No.
But
no.
Certainly any kind of programmatic thing that you wanted to do with seniors, that's another, by the way, that's another section of the population, accessibility to seniors. So maybe you do senior classes, maybe you do high school classes, youth classes, whatever it might be.
So I would hook up maybe with the
You
senior.
would need to partner with somebody, yes, that's
Okay.
in that space, and they would need to apply for the grant, yeah.
And their budget needs to be under $1 million.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No,
The other opportunity is to get a fiscal sponsor.
sponsor,
So-
right? That's what
Yeah,
I say.
so
Your
they would
fiscal-
sponsor you. And we
your
could
fis-
talk, if you have more questions about that, Nancy, we could talk about that offline.
Offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Somebody's phone's ringing.
Okay.
Sarah, did you have another question?
No, that was it. Thanks.
Okay, you gotta put your hand down.
Oh.
No,
Oops.
You'd think that it would know, but it doesn't. You actually have to.
Yeah, I
press
turned my
it
camera
down.
off and I just I wasn't paying any attention.
I-
Okay, thanks.
Are there any other questions that we haven't responded to?
Yes, Nancy Rifle wants to know, what is your definition of a fiscal sponsor? I'll let you, I can do that, or you can do that, whatever you.
Go ahead, Robin.
Me, oh, okay. So fiscal sponsor would be a 501c3 who is willing to sponsor you. Their budget doesn't have to be under $1 million, but your organization or your would have to be under $1 million. For example, there's a police association fund that's going to be fiscal sponsoring an art project for youth, right? So that would be an example of a fiscal sponsor that will be acting as the fiscal agent for this project.
Monica, you had your hand up before. Are you okay?
Yeah, Mara, I'm new to all of this as well, and I was just wondering, is there a validity to the grant that you receive? Is there a sort of time when can you apply again for the grant, or can you apply for it immediately again if you need to?
Oh, that's an excellent question. We only offer once a year.
Yeah.
Right.
I doubt that we're going to offer it in the spring. I don't know that we'll get funded by the springtime, although you never know. Somebody could plunk down a lot of money on us. You never know. I'm optimistic that way. Not Robin though. She's realistic. I'm the I believe in stories. So yes, it would be annually.
Our grants have been annually, and like I was joking at the beginning, normally it was the spring. But this year, due to staffing, there was no staffing, so the grants got pushed back. And we're doing the spring grant cycle in the fall. Who knows what the grants, I'm assuming we'll maybe do it late next summer or fall next year. But who knows what it will look like. The commissioners may decide to focus on other than operational grants. They may go with project program grants. They may want to go with grants for collaboration where 2 or more partners would get together on something. But generally there will be some sort of grants. What it will look like, I don't know.
But there's no rule against how many
No.
times the
No.
same organization can apply for it, right?
Correct.
No.
And there are grantees that do that. They will give you a grant for say 2 years or 3 years, and then they make you take a year off, right? So that they can then grant to different people and spread the love. We did that actually the first 2 or 3 years in 2013, 14, and 15. I think that we said after 2 or 3 years, you had to go to sleep and then take a year off. Our budget grew enough where we don't do that anymore. And I don't imagine, given the pandemic and the financial stress that you all are all under, that we would do that again.
Thank you. Thanks, both of you.
Thanks for the question, Monica. Anybody else? Because we're just to the hour here.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I turned off my face and I can't figure out where I am anymore. Anyway, at the beginning, you did mention sort of this convergence of the organization. So I just wanted to make sure I understood this because it was my understanding it was the San Mateo County Arts Commission that gave out these grants. Is that gone now and merged into San Mateo County Arts and Culture and just
Right. So the San Mateo County Arts Commission is alive and well and kicking, and they are all there, and their role is to act as advisors on all matters of arts and culture to the Board of Supervisors. Most recently, they did, as I mentioned at the beginning, developed a new, really hefty, meaty, beefy strategic plan, which then they give to the supervisors because, you know, the supervisors don't let us run amok. They want to look at what kind of work we're doing. And so they heartily, in fact, they loved the strategic plan. They approved it on February 26th. The Office of Arts and Culture was established as the base of operations for arts and culture because the commissioners, remember, which some people aren't aware. So I would, if you're not aware, don't feel bad. The commissioners are volunteers. They can only do so much. They, you know, they are not staff. And so the reason that you have the Office of Arts and Culture is to implement and guide the work of the strategic plan and assist the commissioners as they advise the supervisors. The Office of Arts and Culture, the Arts Commission was under the county manager's office. And then in late May, or early June, when the Office of Arts and Culture was established, the Arts Commission then got moved. It got housed under the Office of Arts and Culture. So we're like together working on this. Does that make sense?
Is there an org chart on this somewhere?
Well, you know, it's brand new. In fact, the Office of Arts and Culture, we hope to next week get a web page up. The Arts Commission web page is still there as it's been for years. And so basically, the Arts Commission is housed in the Office of Arts and Culture, which is part of the county manager's office. If you look at the website of the county manager, he's got Office of Equity and Social Justice. He's got the Office of Community Outreach, and he's got the Office of Arts and Culture under the county manager's office umbrella. Those are the offices.
We're really administering the work for the commissioners who are a volunteer group, right? And so
yeah,
we're doing the work of the commission.
And also, you know, a commissioner is a volunteer. As I say, volunteer. He cannot sign. A volunteer commissioner cannot sign an agreement with, say, Packard, you know, to do a funding project or a program, whatever it might be. So organizations, corporations, they want staff to partner. They want staff at the county to be the go-to for them. And so again, that's why you have the Office of Arts and Culture as that base of operations, as the county manager likes to say, base of operations for arts and culture in the county. And if some corporation wants to, you know, I've started reaching out to some corporations to see about potential partnerships. You know, they want a staff person, not a volunteer commissioner. You cannot understand. But the commissioner's primary role, if you look at the website for the Arts Commission, it says that their role is advisors on matters of arts and culture to the Board of Supervisors.
General support means, for those of you that are new, general support means we trust you to use the money the way you need fit. You do not have to pitch a project to us. You do not have to use it for a project. We are trusting you to use the money the way your organization needs to be successful and thrive.
It's a partnership. We want to be partners with you. We want you to succeed. We want you to grow. And although given the current situation of pandemic, we just want you, to survive, let alone grow. Let's just all get through this together and survive and not have organizations closing their doors. So
we're grateful to all of you for being here and for the important work that you do in our county, in our community, promoting the arts and making us a better place to live.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We will follow up with a link so that you can apply. And if you have any questions in the meantime, I put my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out and say hello or ask questions.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, partners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Robin, I think you have to stop the recording.
Oh, stop recording.